and welcome to Senior Moments. I'm Jackie Sibley Newton, your host. This is a broadcast service of Cleveland Community College on Spectrum Cable and also on C19.tv. And we hope that you share that link with family and friends who might need to know the information we're going to talk about today. Today we have some fun guests. We have Thomas Brown and Emily Cosgrove of Tailored Home Care. And Tailored Home Care is kind of new to me, so I'm excited to have you on the show and learn more about what you do.
We're excited to be here.
Yep,
Thank you for having us.
Yes.
And Emily, you're the founder.
Yes.
You started Tailored Home Care. So
Yes,
tell me how this got started.
Okay, so I'm a nurse. I've worked with seniors primarily since I graduated from nursing school and also before as a CNA. So I knew it was my passion. I worked for a bigger home care agency through nursing school and decided that one day I would have my own and, do things a little bit differently. Mm-hmm. So 2016 got the ball rolling here in the Lake Norman area, actually. So we were founded officially in 2017 and we hit the ball just running. We grew exponentially in Lake Norman all the way through Charlotte. And then in 2020, we, in the middle of a pandemic, opened a second location in Hendersonville, Asheville area. So we service all of the Charlotte area and the Asheville, Hendersonville area. But truly just wanted to have more of a personal approach and being a nurse, just more of a nurse-centered approach as well to home care.
So what services do you offer in the home?
Mm-hmm. So we start anywhere from someone that may identify that they need some light housekeeping, just tidying up around the house. Our primary focus is fall prevention. Mm-hmm. So keeping them in their home where they're safe and starting really slow. So that may only mean 1 hour or 1 day a week to start out. And we're just kind of doing like I said, the light housekeeping, meal preparation, even down to like pet care, emptying litter boxes or walking their dog or things like that.
Cleaning out a bird cage.
Exactly,
like
yeah.
Okay.
Or, all the way up through full personal care. So bathing, toileting, even someone who's bedbound, and then all the way through the end stages of hospice. We don't provide any medications, but we're doing all of that personal care, so changing them, etc.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Do you offer 24-hour service?
We do.
So someone can be in the home 24 hours. You have different shifts.
Right, exactly. So we do, a different caregiver for day shift, and then a caregiver for evening, and then a caregiver for night shift. Or we can split it up into 2 shifts, just 12-hour shifts a day. So, but our caregivers can come in and really be alongside the family, from the very beginning to whatever level of care that person needs.
Is there sort of a vetting process where, I know that in a situation like that, when you're coming into the home, there really has to be a connection to make that match. The resident has to feel comfortable and the family has to feel comfortable with everything. Right. How does that work?
I think that's my kind of bread and butter that I do and that I've instilled in any of my nurses that work with me, because we're not sending out a salesperson into the home. I'm doing all of the intake process. So, or one of my nurses is, so we're doing all the paperwork there and getting all that kind of housekeeping stuff done, but we're also nurses, so we're getting to know exactly what they need. We have Amazon lists and things like that we've curated, so we're not just providing that care for the person, we're also providing a safe environment, one for our caregiver and also for the client. So kind of working alongside the family, and I think that makes them feel safe, because they see our expertise and know that we've done this before for a long time. So they really appreciate that, and it's not dry, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's more organic, and I spend 2+ hours with the family in that initial intake.
Okay.
And a lot of the times we'll do phone calls before that. just to make sure that it's a good fit for everybody. And then during that time, I can also get to know the client and what they would find and need in a caregiver, personality-wise and skill-wise.
Okay.
So-
Yeah, because people can be picky. You know, they may
Yes.
not want a man. They may only want a female, or they
Right.
may only want a man, not
Right.
a female, or they may have preferences for certain things.
Right.
So that's good. They can get you oriented with all of that previous to ever placing someone in their home.
Right, and I think that's, instead of taking a computer program and just kind of throwing whoever's closest to their home out at that client, we're actually, you know, whether we're pulling from our pool of caregivers or recruiting specifically for that client, we're actually curating a group of caregivers that are specifically for that person. And then I also talk to them about being open and honest with us if it's not working out, you know, it's not a good fit, that we're a very open and honest company to where they come to us and say, hey, it's just not a good fit.
Yeah.
And then we move on and no one is upset, you know?
Yeah.
It's a good open relationship from the beginning.
Very cool. Thomas, tell me a little bit about your role with the company.
So I am the community coordinator. I go out and essentially I'm trying to introduce myself and introduce our business to anybody that wants to talk about it. You know, our clients' families are essentially who I'm trying to reach out to and trying to connect with, just to try to build that rapport and help our company grow and be able to help people, you know.
So you're sort of that connection.
Yes.
You're that
Yep.
person that educates people about what services are offered and how to get registered, how to get signed up.
Yes.
So how do people get in touch with you when they need something? What's that process look like?
So our website, tailoredhomecareinc.com, it is fully automated. Essentially, you can go on, you can reach out to us, send us contact us, and it comes directly to our schedulers and our team. We always have live humans answering the phone and being able to respond to these emails and that sort of stuff. Nothing is automated out.
Okay.
So that's a benefit of our company.
And is that 24/7 monitored? Because you know sometimes it's an emergency situation. People are
Yes.
in the hospital and now mom's getting discharged and we've got to find out something quick. We need some help now. And so they may be making a phone call at 1 o'clock in the morning or filling this
I've
out.
answered
That may
it.
be the only time they have
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
We have answered it. That's something that we really pride ourselves in, is that we've never used an answering service, which would make things a whole lot easier on the weekends and, you know, nighttime for our staff. But we're all dedicated to where we share the responsibility of that, and really, you know, are there for the people whenever they are calling in. So they're actually getting a live person, and also for our clients as well. If someone's calling out, or our caregivers, we support our caregivers, you know, 24/7 as well. So if something's happening with the client, or, you know, they are sick or, you know, can't make it, we're always answering that and getting coverage.
Okay.
A lot of companies will use a answering service that kind of has a list of, you know, employees that can go in. We're a real human that's doing that for you, so
Okay.
a little bit different.
So they just call you and you've got it from there. So
Right,
it's
exactly.
a lot less responsibility for the family. You're going to
Exactly.
take all of that responsibility.
Yes, yes.
Now, services that you offer, housekeeping, basic daily living things for the person that needs the help. But what about things like going to the doctor, grocery
Absolutely.
shopping, things like that?
Errands and taking to doctor's appointments. We've even taken to weddings.
Oh, okay.
When family couldn't come pick them up, we've taken clients to weddings. We've really anything that the family needs help with, you know, we've done that. We've gone to the hospital with people if they've fallen and we've arrived at the home and they need to go to the hospital. We just don't ship them off with the ambulance. You know, we're going with them until the family can get there.
So a true companion, like there is a
Really, yes.
companion with that family
Yes.
member all the time.
Yep. And we've also provided additional services in assisted livings and nursing homes or rehab facilities.
Yeah.
So, they're constantly short-staffed. So a lot of the families will bring us on, or if we're already involved in the care of that patient.
Well, and sometimes in an assisted living situation, because it's assisted living, and I can speak for that, the resident might just need that one-on-one companion, which is not something that assisted living
Right.
can do. And
Right.
we've had that situation where the family has a one-on-one companion with that person just because they want somebody else there.
Absolutely.
That person wants that attention. It's not that the care is not being provided because you guys can't do the medicine.
Right.
They don't necessarily even have to do any of the ADLs,
Yeah.
daily living.
Right.
But they're just there for the companionship and to be there for that person because it makes them more comfortable.
Right, and we communicate with the families, of what happened that day, or if they need to FaceTime their mom and mom can't figure out how to use the phone. We
That's the thing.
facilitate that a lot.
Or they don't know how to work the TV remote, or sometimes it's just
Right.
those things of needing that extra
Right.
set of hands and eyes, and may not be all day, maybe a few hours a day that they need that. I know in memory care, sometimes there's behaviors, and having that one-on-one person
Yes.
there eliminates those behaviors. So helpful
Right.
to have a one-on-one person there in memory care with someone suffering from dementia, especially if you're working through something like a medication adjustment
Right.
and you need that time.
Right, and documentation of, this person felt better during this time, just finding trends, things like that, absolutely.
Yeah.
And we also, in our Hendersonville, Asheville location, we provide 24/7 service for independent living, which we'd love to do here as well, but it's worked out really well for the residents there. We do anything from, like I said, changing a litter box daily, 15-minute checks for them, all the way up to 24/7 care if they fall or they're sick or on hospice. So that's kept them in their independent living apartment, and they're very happy with that. But we're actually on site there, which we've been very blessed with that. But one of our, great success stories there, because the residents are very healthy, they're taken care of, they're not falling as much. So yeah, it's a huge
Fall
service.
prevention is such a huge
Yes.
thing, and just having somebody there to prevent the falls is such a huge quality of life and
Yes.
extension.
Yes.
Because we all know that once they reach a certain age, a broken hip, a broken knee, a broken shoulder, that can be detrimental. That can
Right.
be fatal.
Well, it's not just the initial fall, it's what they can get in the hospital or rehab facility, or just sitting in bed even for 2 days can decrease someone's mobility exponentially. And so that is our number one, is fall prevention.
Yeah, that's such a great thing. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll come back and learn more.
Okay.
The only prediction I'd make is I'd be pretty willing to bet I won't be doing it in 20 more years.
My question is, where's our residual checks?
144 have taken Republican ballots, and Wes and 2 others have taken Libertarian ballots.
Pravda, however, PBS, however.
Wes.
West.
Ladies
and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Arsenic, cadmium, fluorine, formaldehyde, rubidium, lithium.
Do yourself a favor and don't image search for exploding e-cigarettes.
What you don't know about e-cigarettes can hurt you.
Are you ready to take all this in?
Hi, I'm Shara Miller, the host of Artworks. Each month we bring to you wonderful, talented artists from here in Cleveland County and the region. We have artists, we have potters, we have painters, we have musicians, we have actors. We just have wonderful artists that come to you and tell you about all that they're doing, their creativity, what inspires them. Join me here on Artworks each month on C19. You can also watch us online at c19.tv.
Someone once said that without music, life would be a mistake. And that's how we feel here on Face the Music. Hi, I'm Summer Castle-Keever, and I'd love for you to join me each month on our new program, Face the Music, which airs on C19 TV and c19.tv. Each month we'll highlight the talents, personalities, and stories behind some of the area's most gifted singers, songwriters, and musicians. It's going to be a lot of fun, so join me each month for a new edition of Face the Music right here on C19.
Welcome back to Senior Moments. I'm Jackie Sibley Newton, your host, and we have been talking with Tailored Home Care, Thomas Brown and Emily Cosgrove, and I've learned so much about your company and all the services that you offer. I'm so glad that you're here. Let's talk about working for you. I know in healthcare we're always hiring, always hiring, because it's such a growing need. It doesn't matter how many employees you have, you're always going to need more because the client base grows. So how does someone become employed with Tailored Home Care?
So the best way for someone to come and apply for Tailored Home Care is to go on our website. There's an option there that says careers and apply. And you know, there's a couple of things that we have that benefit us as a home care agency is you don't need to be a CNA. That's not a requirement for us. We do prefer some previous caregiver experience, but you know, you don't have to be a certified CNA. We provide weekly pay. That's one of the things. Another thing that's a big benefit for our caregivers is it's one-on-one caregiver to client ratio. That is, you don't have your hands in all sorts of jars as far as keeping up with different people and that sort of stuff. So that's
a little
another
easier
benefit.
work, and the requirements would be they would have to pass a drug test, a background check.
Absolutely, nationwide, state and nationwide background check.
Driving record. Driving record.
And
driving record, especially if they're transporting, like we talked about earlier. You know, for doctor's appointments or
grocery store, weddings,
grocery shopping, or anything.
Wherever we're going.
So those are really important aspects for us, both for us and for the families that we're providing care for.
If they are a CNA, I know it's important for CNAs to be able to keep their certifications, and they have to be checked off by a nurse. You can provide that service.
I do it all the time.
Okay, so CNAs also can apply and keep their certifications.
It's a great job for a CNA that may work at the hospital or maybe a nursing home or something like that, or rehab. It's a great second job as well, because we do offer, you know, evening shifts, or if they, you know, work mornings, then they could come in and do an overnight or something like that on their off days. So
can they do PRN?
They can, absolutely.
So they can just sign up and take those call outs or take those open shifts.
And that's actually great for us because we don't know when our clients are coming in. It's need based. So if someone falls and they need care, we like to have a big group of as needed employees and our full-time employees as well, that can kind of supplement until we can, you know, fully staff that case. So we're always looking.
So a good little side job if somebody was looking for a little extra income, if they didn't want to commit to having a client all the time.
And they are all W-2 employees through us, so they're not contract employees, fully covered by workers' comp. Our whole business is fully covered by liability insurance, and we're bonded. So these are all our employees. They're not contractors. So very safe for the clients.
Now, when someone, let's talk about transporting. Do they use their own cars, or are they using the client's car?
Either way, the preference of the client. So they do sign a waiver if they do want them to drive their car, but a lot of the times they can get in their car easier than
That they
a
do.
lower caregiver car or
Right.
vice versa, higher SUV. So we do offer that, but usually the caregiver does drive their vehicle.
Yeah.
So that's why we're doing those driving record checks, insurance, making sure they have insurance, et cetera.
Right. And I know that a lot of people are more comfortable. I know when I take my mother somewhere, she wants to take her car.
Yes.
She's just more comfortable in her
Yes.
car. She's more comfortable getting in and out of it
Yes.
than she is my Jeep.
Yes.
So, even though I think they're really about the same height,
Yeah.
but she's
Yeah.
just more comfortable. It's her car.
Yes.
She's
Yep.
where her stuff is in there,
Yes.
so she wants her car.
Yes. Yes.
Now, I know that you provide some pet care. Does that include if the pet has to go to the vet?
We can take them.
Okay.
And take them with, as long as the
client
client
is with you?
goes with. We don't do any transaction of money. So if we take them to the bank, we have to take them inside, and they have to
And
physically
they
do it.
that. You're just the
right.
companion.
Right,
Just
exactly.
providing the transportation.
So we encourage the family. A lot of the times they'll get a like prepaid debit card, and if we're going grocery shopping or something like that, that's what our caregiver will take instead of like a credit card or cash. So very, very strict on our caregivers with that.
So they don't handle any money.
No.
And they're not handling any medication.
No. So they are doing medication reminders. We just cannot fill the pill boxes. So a lot of the times I'll come into the home and they don't have any pill boxes or any type of organizational system, and I will encourage the family to do that and educate them on that. But we are strictly doing medication reminders. We can dump it out onto a paper towel for them out of that pre-filled medication box, but we cannot physically take it out of the bottle for them.
Okay.
So, we've never really had an issue with that. We just open communication with the family.
I see. And the family does that for you.
Correct.
They prepare. Okay. Now, when a family calls you and they say, I need help, what comes next? What do they need to have ready? What are you going to ask them for?
So first off, we do kind of an intake phone call. So it'll either be myself or my operations manager, Christine, that will do that. She'll get, their need is basically what we're going to ask for first.
Right.
What happened? Was a fall that precipitated this? Was it, came home for Christmas and mom just isn't changing her clothes and the house was a mess and it looked like there were fall risks, and just identifying that need. And then we discuss, kind of our expectations, payment, that we're private pay, we take long-term care insurance. So some people don't even know if they have that. So we discuss that with them.
Yeah.
We discuss if they have VA benefits, we accept those as well. So we kind of discuss that aspect of it. And then we do what we call a client retainer. A lot of companies will do a deposit. We do kind of a client retainer that saves the spot, and we can schedule that nurse visit so that they're guaranteed, for me to come out or one of my nurses to come out and do that intake. I do ask that they have the medications kind of organized and ready for me to just look over and, so we know what's going on.
Right.
And then I go through the home while I'm there doing my nurse intake, and I'm looking for any fall risks. I make any suggestions. Oh, we're going to take away this throw rug. Grandma's not very happy about that, but they're
We're
the number
rearranging
one.
some furniture.
Yes.
We're doing some
Yes.
things. Yeah, they don't
But
like that. But it
any
has to
other
be
things
done.
that they need, like I said earlier, we'll send them an Amazon list to the family, and they can order that. The family has to supply the gloves for the caregiver, even if we're not doing hands-on care. We require that because you never know when someone's going to get sick.
Exactly. Right.
So we require that, and it's just basically on a case-by-case basis.
And all the needs are going to be
right.
different.
Right.
Is there any level of care that you just don't provide care for?
So if someone has a lift, like a Hoyer lift or a sit-to-stand, we require that another person be in the home to supervise that. So especially if it's a larger man, and a lot of our caregivers are female, we're very cognizant of that, making sure that we're matching the right caregiver for the right case. But if they are using a lift, it is a CNA that's providing that care. So that's the only thing, the lifts are the only
Okay.
thing. If someone's bedbound and they are larger, you know, we do try to pair someone with that person, but most of the time I do ask for second assist from the family.
Okay.
So,
So they might have two caregivers or two companions,
Right.
if in those cases. Yep, because a Hoyer lift does require two people
Yes.
to safely operate.
So that's the only one, you know, if family is not around, I'm not going to take on a case that is going to jeopardize my employees or the client's safety. So I have in instances said that this is not a good fit, you know, for them to stay in the home. That, you know, I believe that skilled nursing is the best place for them. So
Yeah.
we're not just going to accept a client to accept them.
Right.
So,
And sometimes it is for the better care
right.
for them to go to
Right.
a community where they're going to get that care.
And also that stands if we're working with a client and they become, you know, completely bedbound over time. We are very open and honest with them. You know, this is, I think it's
to
time.
transition to a
Yeah.
new home.
But obviously our goal is for them to stay in the home until the very end.
As long as they can.
Yes.
Exactly. Well, it's been a delight
Yes.
to meet you both. Thank you
Absolutely.
so much. And I hope that if you have more questions that you'll reach out to Total Home Care and ask any questions that you would like.
Yes.
I know their website also has more information. I am Jackie Sibley Newton. I'm at Terabella, and I am happy to answer any questions that you have about senior living in general. And I hope you've enjoyed the show. We'll see you back next time on Senior Moments.